This video is about DeFi and airdrop opportunities on Base. Base is Coinbase's Ethereum layer 2 rollup, and it has been exploding in activity recently, and I think it could become even bigger. So in this video, I'll break down some different ways that you can qualify for airdrops or take advantage of Base DeFi today. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick. As a reminder, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is purely for educational purposes, and you should still do your own research. Now let's get into it. First, a bit of background on Base and why exactly I think that there's an opportunity there. Base is Coinbase's chain, and it launched in July of 2023. And after an initial bump in activity in July, August, and September, it's really quieted down for about 6 months. And then over the past month, it just completely exploded, with total value locked in Base DeFi breaking $800 million in volume on decentralized exchanges on Base, reaching all-time highs of over $300 million in volume in a single day. And so there's a lot going on Base recently, and there's a lot of opportunities for DeFi and airdrops there. And the reason why I think that Base could be big and could actually get even larger than it is now is that it has the full backing of Coinbase. And Coinbase is one of the largest exchanges in the world, the largest in the United States, publicly traded company, and they have tens of millions of users. And Coinbase has stated their intention to eventually give those users access to purchase tokens directly on Base, and they've already made efforts to make it easy for those customers to onboard onto Base. For example, allowing you to withdraw directly to Base from Coinbase and integrating Base into the Coinbase wallet. So they have huge backers, and those of you who were around in 2021 probably remember Binance Smart Chain, which is even today still one of the largest chains for activity and total value locked. And that was mostly because Binance gave their backing to Binance Smart Chain, really helped push the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and it exploded to the point where there were people who actually thought that it would overtake Ethereum at one point, and there were certain metrics where Binance Smart Chain overtook Ethereum. And I'm not saying that that exact same pattern to that degree is going to happen with Base, because 2024 is much different than 2021. There's a lot more chains out there that are competitive now, but that goes to show the sort of potential when you have a major exchange backing a chain. And so I think that Base has a lot of opportunity. And by the way, most of the things I'm going to share in this article are borrowed from this in-depth report I wrote on my Substack, breaking down Base. This is a deep dive on the entire Base thesis and ecosystem. So I'll link that down in the description for you to read as well. All right, so let's get into some opportunities. To start, we'll look at a DeFi opportunity. The largest DEX on Base is Aerodrome, probably the most used application on Base by almost every metric right now, with nearly $400 million deposited, processing a huge proportion of the volume on chain, and it has some incredible yields right now. So for you yield farmers out there, for people who like to use DeFi, you can provide liquidity on Aerodrome. And because of the incentives from their Aero token, and because their Aero token has done so well, there's actually some really, really good yields on here. For example, you can pair wrapped ETH with USDC, and currently you can earn 62.69%. If you want to hold the Aero token itself, you can earn much higher yields of nearly 300% pairing that with USDC, but keep in mind that token is inflationary, so I would consider those sorts of pools higher risk. But just to keep going through some of these other pools here, if you pair Coinbase ETH with wrapped ETH, again, you can see the Coinbase connection, you have 18% yield. If you pair wrapped ETH with wrapped staked ETH, that's Lido staked ETH, you have 13.85% yield. And there's just a ton of other pools, many with blue chips, including stablecoins, ETH, so on and so forth, that you can just earn these extremely high, extremely lucrative yields on Aerodrome. And so I think first opportunity on Base would be to take advantage of these liquidity pools on Aerodrome. Now, one thing to note here is any liquidity pools like ETH USDC that have two different assets that are uncorrelated, you are going to suffer some impermanent loss if the prices on those assets change. So always make sure you understand that before depositing liquidity. And I have a video explaining impermanent loss that I'll link down in the description of this one. But Aerodrome, I would say, is the first opportunity. Second opportunity is Friend.tech. If you were around back in 2023 when Base first launched, Friend.tech was really the first breakout application on Base, not counting meme coins. It's an application where influencers, KOLs, creators, both in crypto and out, have private chat rooms, and then people can buy keys to gain access to those chat rooms. And that Friend.tech really exploded in August, September last year, and then kind of lost traction since. But there's a lot of reasons to think that Friend.tech might be coming back. For one thing, they have V2 launching, plan to launch next month, and this is going to make some major overhaul to the way that Friend.tech works. And the reason why I think that this could make it come back is that they've basically onboarded almost all the power users of crypto already. You even had a lot of tech people outside of crypto make accounts on Friend.tech. So now that people are onboarded, it's a much lower barrier to entry for those people to say, okay, I'm going to start using Friend.tech again, because they don't even need to reactivate their account. They already have an account. On top of that, Friend.tech announced that they will be distributing all the points, including VCs, back to the community. So Friend.tech had a points program. If you used it last year, you probably earned some points, and those points will be converted to an airdrop at some point. Now, they're saying they're going to distribute them back to the community, and could actually be somewhat valuable. If you look at Whale's Market, by the way, great application where you can trade points OTC. So if you're farming points for any airdrop, you can check out what they're actually worth on base for dozens of different airdrops. But if we look at what Friend.tech points are worth right now, OTC, they're around $4 to $5 per point. And if you were using it back then you would know that for a lot of people, that's actually going to be a decent amount of money that they get whenever those points become convertible to tokens. And I think that could create a wealth effect where people both in the Friend.tech ecosystem and the base ecosystem suddenly get this infusion of cash from a Friend.tech airdrop. And so keep an eye on that. Watch out for Friend.tech V2. If you have points, then you may be able to trade them at some point. If you don't have points, there may be other opportunities to earn either returns or yield in the Friend.tech ecosystem. Next opportunity on base is Avantis. Avantis is a perp DEX, and it has both opportunities for yield, and it could be a potential airdrop. Avantis allows you to trade a variety of assets, including crypto, commodities, and Forex with up to 100x leverage. Although I wouldn't recommend using 100x leverage unless you really know what you're doing. You can see here it looks similar to other types of perp DEXs, but where it stands out is they have this earn program with tranches where you can deposit USDC and earn either 35.75% yield or 18.52% yield, with even higher APRs if you actually lock your tokens. They also have a leaderboard to track your trading, and I think that Avantis is relatively underfarmed right now. If we look, for example, at the deposits, it has less than $5 million of deposits, and I think it could be a potential airdrop if and when they eventually launch a token. Another good one to watch is IntentX. IntentX is another derivatives trading platform on Base, and IntentX actually has an active points program. Again, you see this front end that looks similar to a centralized exchange, but it's DeFi on the back end. And they have an ongoing points program right now. They have this incentives tab here where they're saying that up to 3 million IntentX tokens, 3%, will be distributed as rewards to participants in the open beta project phase. So basically, if you trade, there's a guaranteed airdrop of some form, and you accrue points every 24 hours. So I think trading on IntentX, if you're a trader or if you just want to open some positions, I think that is going to be a pretty lucrative opportunity. Next one is Cygnus Finance. Cygnus is a fully backed stablecoin protocol. Basically, you deposit collateral, USDC, and then you're able to mint Cygnus's CG USD stablecoin. And there's a relatively modest APR right now, 5.3%. As far as crypto goes, I mean, in the real world, that's great. As far as crypto goes, that's relatively low, especially for using a new application. However, I think the potential upside here is that if they launch a token eventually and they're able to gain some traction, then early users could theoretically qualify for an airdrop. Again, all these things are speculation when we're talking about airdrops, unless they've explicitly announced it like IntentX did. The next potential airdrop on Base is Astaria. Astaria is an Oracle-less, intent-based, fixed-rate lending protocol. And you guessed it, they also have a points program, which means that an airdrop is not necessarily guaranteed, but it's as close to guaranteed as you can get without the protocol explicitly announcing it. Like other lending protocols, you can provide loans on here and you can also borrow. And so if you want to potentially qualify for an airdrop here, likely you would want to borrow tokens out, maybe use them as collateral to take out a loan. And the markets they have here are ETH, USDC, DAI, and then a variety of other DeFi and base related tokens. And then the final airdrop I want to highlight is Circle.tech. Circle.tech is another social finance app similar to Friend.tech, but slightly different. It's also gained some traction from some major crypto influencers, and they've confirmed there will be an airdrop. You can see here it says use Circle.tech to boost your Circle airdrop. Ends in 63 days from the time I'm filming this video. As a reminder to dive deeper into the base ecosystem, I published this entire article on my Substack. I'll link that down in the description as well. And for more videos like this one, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.